Hey guys, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge, and we've got a Sanrenmu to look at today. This is an older model with the older style of naming convention. This is the B-762. They also have a B4-762 and another one. This one's got black handle scales, liners. There's another one that looks like this, except for the liners have been anodized, a rainbow anodization. And then there's another version where instead of black, the outside handle scales are just sort of satin steel looking, so the whole thing's just this nice steel color. They might have other colors, I don't know. This is an axis lock type knife. They call it an axis lock on GearBest. And I took this thing apart so I can show you how that is built. And we'll do that a little later on in the video. And I took it apart so you don't have to. Because I had a horrible time getting it back together. It's very intricate. Once it's together, it works great. And it's very durable the way it's made. But you have to put it just so when you put it together. So I'm not recommending that you take yours apart. I'll show you a number of different pictures on how it looks inside. This is a just under 6 centimeter blade, which means it is compatible with our airline laws. Domestic flights in Canada, you could carry this knife with you if you wanted to. And it's a full flat grind. It's got a sort of a third of a circle kind of opening there that you use to open the knife. You can do it one-handed using your thumb like that. Or, of course, you can do it two-handed opening that way. So I think I've got you interested in this knife. So now you're going to want to stick around for the full review. One of the first things you're going to notice is there is no pocket clip, but there's a huge lanyard hole there. You can fit 550 paracord through there, no problem. You could fit 1100 paracord through there. Yeah, they've got different types of paracord with different amounts of strings inside and different strengths of string. There's all sorts out there. So there's a good close look at it. A nice full flat grind. There's the logo, and then there's the number 762 right there. And that's all the writing you get on that, on the blade. On the handle, it just says folding knives here and Sanrenmu. And that's sort of an older style that they were doing. They used to write folding knives on a lot of their knives, and they're named like that. And that's all that you get. This other side, there's nothing to be seen. We've got hex, which is also called Allen keyholes. And putting it back together, I had a terrible time, and I ended up stripping that hole right there. And that was my own fault, nobody else's fault. I used a key that was slightly too small. I used a standard instead of a metric key, and it was not quite the right size. My own fault, and I should have used that drive grip stuff that I got from Vibra-Tight. If I would have used that stuff's great. I used it to actually loosen it back up and get it back out. Stuff just works wonderfully. I got to start using it on every screw just by default. Just use it. So we've got, a nice pivot there. We've got phosphor bronze washers in there, nice thin ones. This piece of steel right here that you can see moves when I do this. That is sort of part of the axis lock. And between where my thumbs are right there, that's where there is a spring. And the spring connects with this backspacer piece. And it's solid back here and this. And then there's a spring between here, and it's captured on the sides so it won't come out. So it's a long, just a little bit over an inch long, just regular coil spring. And that's what pushes the axis lock arm forward so that when your blade comes up, it engages and it locks on the blade over top of the tang. So right here you can see the tang of the blade. You can see a line, and then there's a bit of an angle where it goes downward. And then you can see on the top of that spot on the tang right there, that's where this keys on over top of it, and it locks in place. And for this size of a knife, that is a very solid lockup. Nope. Oof. Almost stuck my finger on there. Very solid lockup. No problems at all. Really good system for this knife. And this kind of knurling that they have on this round piece, it's very easy to grip and undo the axis lock. What kind of steel do we have? The websites say, some say 8CR13 MOV, some say 8CR14 MOV stainless steel. Those two steels are fairly similar to one another, so I'm just going to, leave it at that. Rockwell hardness, usually around 57, 58 on both of those. Nice satin finish on this full grind. Nice sharpener's choil, some call it a Spanish notch right there. A flat area here, and then you've got belly. A nice tip if you do need to do any piercing type work. And I use that hole to key in on with my index finger and my thumb. And then I put my other fingers back here. If I need to do any piercing and stuff and to do some delicate cutting, that works really well. That gives you some security better than just up here, although it's not that big of a deal. It's a 3-finger grip back here, so it's just a little bit too big for me to call a wee knife. For Wee Wednesday, I like to have knives that are 2-finger grip or less. And so this is just a little bit bigger than that. Of course, it is a small knife indeed. Everything's well-rounded. The fit and finish is quite nice. There's no sharp edges anywhere, except for right there. And that's a good thing. And on this show side, you can see the finish on these screws. It's just a nice finish. These are D posts or pivots, so they don't spin along. So that's a good thing. Usually a knife this price, this is in the single digits of dollars, and not the high single digits either. Well, it's not terribly low, but in single digits of dollars, even in the Canadian dollars, you don't expect them to have those D pillars in there. You expect to have those screws where you got one on each side and you got to fight with it with 2 hands to unscrew it and stuff. Not a problem here. And a little stop pin right there. And that stop pin's perfectly adequate for this size knife. So let's take this thing apart and I'll show you the insides right now. So hopefully you think that's pretty cool. I like how it works, and I encourage you not to take it apart at home unless you absolutely have to. I took the black layer off, and then when I took that liner off, the spring went flying. It took me 20 minutes to find it, or maybe 15. So there you go. Let's do all the sizes, and then we'll go on to what I like and don't like about this knife. Cutting edge, 5.69 centimeters. That's 2.24 inches. Blade length, so the handle to the tip of the blade is 5.9 centimeters, 2.33 inches. Blade thickness, and I measured right back here close to the handle, 2.38 millimeters. That's 0.094 inches. The blade depth, so spine to the cutting edge, and that's right here by the sharpener's choil, 1.93 centimeters, which is that right? Let me double check this. I'm reading my own handwriting, which, my own handwriting is pretty messy sometimes. 1.93 centimeters, 0.76 inches. So behind the grind, 0.61 millimeters, which is 0.024 inches. The handle length, 8.4 centimeters, 3.3 inches. And the grip area, that's back here, 6.39 centimeters, that's 2.5 inches. The handle thickness is 8.13 millimeters, that's 0.32 of an inch, so basically 1/3 of an inch right there. And then the handle depth, and the biggest spot is right here at the pivot. The handle depth is 2.66 centimeters, that's 1.05 inches. The total length of this knife with the blade deployed is 14.5 centimeters, which is 5.7 inches. How much does this guy weigh? Well, 82 grams, 2.85 ounces. So just under 3 ounces, and you think, that's a little knife to be 3 ounces, but hey, it's pretty dense. It's pretty robustly made. And if you take a look at the back here, you can see there is a fair bit of steel involved in building this. And it's all steel. There's no aluminum anywhere. It's just a well-built, solid knife. How much are you going to pay for this? $7.44 US, plus about $1.73 for shipping. In Canada, $9.45 plus $2.20 shipping. In euros, 6.17 plus 1.43 for shipping. And in British pounds sterling, £5.46 and £1.27 for shipping. Not bad price at all for an older Sanrenmu that is well built. You know, comes together with just 2 screws, but like I said, don't take it apart. It's got nice decorative effects right through the middle there with the holes that go right through. Not hard to clean, full flat grind, nice drop point, even a sharpener's choil. Really, really nice knife for the price. So what do I like and don't like? Well, I really like this axis lock. It's actually made very well, and it functions just fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all. You would think that there'd be easily some pinch points here and stuff, all kinds of things that could go wrong. But, you know, it's just very, very nice. Very nice indeed. Other pros, it's comfortable to hold. You can even hold it this way, or you sneak up and you put your index finger up here. Now, that does bring me to one con. I would have really liked if they would have had a negative choil here instead of being convex. If it was, you know, concave, you could get your finger in there really, really well, and then you'd have a 4-finger grip on this for doing a little bit harder work that you might occasionally have to do if you EDC a knife like this. Sometimes you want to EDC a small blade, and you still want to be able to do some hard work. And you still can do it this way. It's just would be slightly more comfortable if that was the other way around. Cons. Well, that's the one con. I wish that the handle shape was a little bit different right there. And I think some people would like a pocket clip. Thanks for watching my video, guys. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And I especially want to thank my Patreon supporters. My very newest supporter, his name is on the screen right here. Right here is a listing of the 2 Patreon supporters that have joined me since February 1st. So you guys are awesome. And thank you to all my other Patreon supporters. You guys are all wonderful. Till next time, remember, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb.